Hello, Adela. Hello.
Hello,
Hello. Hi there.
Maureen. How are you?
Hello. David, is that your name?
Yes, yes.
Nice to meet you. Welcome to the class.
Nice to meet you as well.
And let's see, we have Adela is here too. Hello, Adela. Nice to see you.
Hello, Maureen. Nice to see you
And
too.
uh, there's Omar here too. Hi, Omar.
Hello, teacher. How are you?
Good, good. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, thank you.
So let's give a couple of minutes for everyone to join before we get started. We got another one here. Let's see. Hello there. Leonardo, are you there?
Hello.
Hello. Hi, I'm Maureen.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Where are you from?
From Brazil.
From Brazil. Okay, wonderful. You're my first Brazilian student today. And we have Heraline. You're back with us. Wonderful.
Hello.
Am I saying your name correctly?
Yes, Geraldine.
Geraldine. Okay, I wasn't sure if it was a hard G or a soft G. Okay, welcome back. Thanks for joining my class again.
Thank you.
And hi there, Sampoi.
Hi, Maureen.
Maureen, that's right. So
Maureen.
my
Nice to
name, nice to meet you too. What's your name?
Sampoi.
Sampoi. Okay, so I got it right. And we've got Sasha back with us, Alexandra. Thanks for coming to my second class.
Hi again.
Hello again, yes. And then Jorge, you're back too. Wonderful. Good to see you
Hi,
again.
Maureen.
Hi. So,
Likewise.
let's see. For our new students, Sampoi, will you tell us, will you introduce yourself, please?
Yes, I come from Thailand, and
Mm-hmm.
it is my second month in Workling. I think
Oh,
a new
okay.
teacher, right? Are you a new teacher?
Yes, I'm a new teacher. I just started at Verbling last week, but
Oh,
it's been a great experience so far. Or maybe it was 2 weeks ago. Okay, thank you. And let's see, did I have everyone say hello? So just if you haven't introduced yourself, then you can just tell us where you're from. And before we get started here. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about directions and locations, okay? So the main purpose of today's lesson is to practice the use of prepositions, okay? Prepositions are probably going to be the hardest part about learning English grammar because sometimes you just have to memorize which prepositions go with which words. It has nothing to do with whether or not you memorize the rules. It simply has to do with practicing and using them, especially using them in your speech. So there are certain prepositions that reflect what are called spatial relationships. I'm going to write that in the chat box. And these spatial relationships mean where things are in relation to one another, okay? So one of the things we're going to do today is we're going to take a look at a map of a town. It's a cartoon map, so it should have been on the Verbling class page, but if not, I'm going to try to put it in the chat box and see if we can all use that today, okay? So let me just drag that and see if that will work. And I'll also put it up in the screen share. So, okay. Does everyone, no, it didn't go in there. So I don't think I can send it to you, but if you go on the class description, you can see the cartoon map of the town that we're using, and I'll see if I can find a picture of it on the internet so I can send it to you. We're going to practice giving directions in a town, okay?
Okay.
Okay, I don't see it, but does everyone, let me do the screen share, okay? Okay, can everyone see on my screen the map of the city?
Yes.
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 Okay, good. So we're going to use that today to practice some prepositions, okay? So, oh, and we have a new student with us, Raphael, hello.
Hello, how are you?
Good, how are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you.
And where do you come from, Raphael?
I'm from Brazil, São Paulo.
Oh, wonderful. We have another Brazilian. Okay,
Ah,
nice to meet you.
thank you.
Okay, so if everyone can see on the screen share the map of the city. So we're going to be discussing where things are. So before we get started, I'm going to talk about the buildings in this map. If you look in the top left-hand corner, there's the cemetery. A cemetery is where you bury people after they've died, okay? And next to that, there's the city library, city hall, and the city court. City hall is where the government is. We have the post office, which is where you can mail a letter or pick up a letter or buy some stamps. We have the police station, which hopefully you know that at the police station you can find the police. There's a lake. There's a park that goes along with the lake. There's a county hospital, fire station where the firefighters are, state college. Now, some of you might be confused about the difference between a college and a university. University in the United States, you can say college or university. It means the same thing, okay? So if you say, I went to college, you could also say, I went to university. It means the same thing.
Okay.
It's more common to say, I went to college. In other countries, college means high school, meaning from when you're 14 until you're 18 years old. Here
Yeah.
it means university, okay? So that's when I say state college, I refer to university, okay? There's a bus station where you can take a bus out of town. There's a small bridge. You can see, does it show you where I'm pointing? Does it show on your screen where I'm pointing with my arrow?
No.
No, it doesn't? Okay. Well, you can see there's a little bridge. There's a couple of bridges. One is called Dog Bridge, one is called Cat Bridge, and one is called Bird Bridge. There's the Moon River. Across from the Moon River is the water plant, the river park, the community center, and the elementary school. And there's on the other side, there's City Park, City Middle School, and City High School. Okay? So all of those terms, is there anything that is not clear about what those places are? No? Does everyone understand?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, so let's start with the first preposition on my list, which is across. Here's a really good one, across. So I'm going to type all the prepositions into the chat box. But I want you to ask each other, okay? So I'm going to ask one of you, for example, I will ask Geraldine, what is across from City Hall? And then I want Geraldine to respond, well, the city library is across from City Hall, okay? Or you could say, across from City Hall is the city library, okay?
Okay.
So then, after that, Geraldine, you get to ask someone else, what is across from, and pick another,
What is okay?
building, okay? So I'll ask you, Geraldine, what is across from Lake Park?
Okay. County Hospital is across from Lake Park.
Okay, good. So why don't you go ahead and pick another student and ask them the same kind of question.
Okay. I don't know. Maybe Rafael. What is across? What is across the bus station?
What is across from the
From
bus? Mhm.
from the bus station.
Mm, bus station is from cemetery.
Okay, so you're missing the preposition, Raphael. You're missing the one we're practicing, across. So your sentence has to include the word across.
Ah, sorry. Bus station is across cemetery.
Okay? But don't forget that it's across from the
Across
cemetery.
from. Okay.
Okay, so that goes together. Those two prepositions go together. Across from. Okay?
Okay.
Well, you could say the bus station is across the street from the cemetery, but that would just include the word the street. And that's what it means. It's across the street. You'd have to cross the street, meaning go from one side to another. Okay? All right, Raphael, go ahead and ask another student.
Okay, for Leonardo. And the question I need to put across from too or no?
Yes, you need to say, what is across from, and then pick a building.
Okay, where is across from State College?
The fire station is across the state college.
Okay, so State College faces out onto Oak Street. So a better answer would be the river
Park.
or the river park is across from the State College. But still, you used it correctly.
Ah, okay.
Okay, go ahead, pick another student.
Omar.
Okay,
What's across from elementary school? Elementary school.
okay, what's across from the elementary school? You want to say the.
Okay.
Okay, Omar, did you hear the question?
Yeah, exactly. I heard.
Okay, good. So what is across from the elementary school?
I think the community center is across the elementary school.
The community
Front
center. The community center is kind of more next to the elementary school because you can see from the way that the building ends that the elementary school faces out towards the river. So perhaps the river park is a better answer.
River Park.
Okay, so do you want to try again and say a complete sentence?
Okay. The river park is next to the elementary schools.
The river park across from.
From the elementary schools.
Okay, good. All right, let's try another preposition. How about, yes.
I have a question. What you said, it's better to say next and not to say across in the case of the community center.
Well, if you can see, they don't face each other, okay? So the front of the elementary school is where the building color meets the street.
Oh,
So
okay. I
imagine
understand.
that you are on the street and the elementary school, the front of the elementary school is Elm Street. Okay? The front of the elementary school is not Fifth Avenue or Fourth Avenue. The front is on Elm Street. So if you're talking about something that is across, it means that they face each other. Okay? So we can save that one for when we get to next to or besides. because those two are next to each other. They're besides each other, but they are not across from each other. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, so our next one is going to be behind. That's a good one. Behind. Okay? So, Omar, go ahead and ask another student, what is behind the, and then you can say, and remember, the back of the building will be this side that does not have the color.
Okay. Okay, I'll ask Leonardo, sorry. Okay. What's behind the city library?
Oh, the city hall is behind the city library.
Very good. Okay, you got the hang of that. Who's ready to go next? So, Leonardo, do you want to ask somebody new?
Yeah, Alejandra. What's behind the fire station?
The county hospital is behind the fire station.
Very good. All right, Sasha, why don't you do one more behind one, and then we'll switch to another preposition.
Okay. David, what is behind water plant?
Let me find what's okay. Behind the water, the river or the bus station is behind the waterfront.
And you could even say that the dog bridge is behind the water plant. Okay? That's if you went behind the water plant, you'd find the dog bridge. Okay, and next we have, oh, this is a good one. We'll do one beside. Okay, so beside can mean the same thing as next to. Next to. So what is, so...
Maureen, may I interrupt you just for a second?
Sure.
What's the difference between, because I have always mixed them up, next to and near?
Okay, so next to means that they, it means almost the same thing, but next to refers to things that are side by side. So if you are in a line of people, such as in this line of students in my class, you are next to Adela and next to David. You're on either side of them, okay? However, you are still near to Geraldine, okay? Because she's close to you compared to Sampoy, okay? So near could mean anywhere that's close by, but next to refers specifically to when things are sort of in a line, or they have somewhat more of a structure to them, such as a building. Like if you look on the map, the city hall is next to city court. Okay, their sides are touching pretty much. Okay, however, they are also near each other, but they are next to each other. You could not say that city hall and city library are next to each other, but you could say that they are near. Okay? So imagine that next to is used when things are side by side, and that's it.
I have another question,
Sure.
Maureen. If I want to be more specific, if I want to say it's on the right or on the left,
yes,
when I am talking about next, how can I say?
You would want to say it's next to City Hall on the right-hand side. I'm going to write that out for you, okay? So let's say I'm talking about City Court. well, City Court's on the left-hand side, but it's next to City Hall on the left-hand side. Okay, so just like your hands, it's on the left-hand side or on the right-hand side. That's a very common phrase in English when you're giving directions. So I'm glad you brought that up, Jorge, because it's very common to say, oh, you'll see the entrance to the building on the left-hand side. Okay? Or you'll see the entrance to the garage on the right-hand side. So good question. Okay, so where did we leave off? So we have beside, and some people also say besides with an S. They mean the same thing, so don't worry about beside or besides, okay? Beside is a better choice, I would say. So let's see, I think we left with David. Are you ready to ask someone else what about beside?
Yes. The question is for to Senpoi, for example. What beside the community center?
Okay, so you actually want to say what is beside, and then they can answer. What is beside the community center? Do you want to try again, David? What is beside?
Yes, what is beside to the community center?
Okay, and that's really close, but there's no to. It's just what is beside the community center. You don't have to say beside to, okay?
Okay.
The elementary school is beside the community center.
Exactly. That's exactly correct. Okay, so you could also say next to. Okay? Okay, Sampoi, I'm going to give you a different one, a really good one, okay? Between. Between, do you know what that means?
Yes.
So there's one on either side. So this means you have to ask two, you have to include two buildings. So for example, what is between the county hospital and the post office? Okay?
The police station.
That's right, the police station. Okay, so Sampoi, why don't you ask someone what is between two things, okay?
Okay. Adela, what is between the city hall and the cemetery?
Between cemetery and city hall, there are city library.
Okay, and remember the city library.
City library is between cemetery and city hall.
Yes, very good, very good. Okay, the city library is between the cemetery and city hall. Good. Okay, Adela, it's your turn to ask someone using the preposition between.
Okay. For Alexandra, what is between City Park and City High School? Alexandra, yes.
Yeah. The city middle school is between the city park and the city high school.
Perfect. Yeah. Okay, thank you, Adela. All right, so Sasha, I'm going to give you a different one. Okay, here you can be a bit more creative. I'm going to give you one that you just asked about, near. Okay, so with near, they don't have to be beside each other. They just have to be close in proximity. They have to be within 1 or 2 buildings away from each other.
Mm-hmm. All right. Who was silent?
Yeah, I don't think anyone's asked Jorge. You can ask Jorge.
Okay, Jorge. What is near the lake park?
The post office is close to the lake. Oh, no, sorry. the the fire station is close to the lake park.
Okay, yes, it's fairly close. I think you could say something, if you wanted to be really clear, the closest thing would be, well, what's nearest would be Lake Boulevard or Smith Lake, okay? So it makes sense that near Smith Lake there would be a park called Lake Park, right? Okay,
I
Jorge.
understood you say that 2 buildings from there.
No, it's near could be 1 or 2 buildings away, depending on how big or small the buildings are. But it mostly means something that
Okay.
is immediately next to. Okay, so I'm going to give you a new one, Jorge. You're going to have opposite. Okay, so for opposite, they should be. It's the same as saying face to face. Okay, so when people are face to face, they are opposite each other, which means the front of these buildings have to face each other.
Okay. I have to ask, sorry.
You have to. You can ask anyone you like. Oh, Sampoy is saying, what is BLVD? It's short for boulevard, and it's a fancier way of saying a street. So a boulevard tends to be bigger. So in the order it goes from biggest to smallest, it goes boulevard, street, road. Okay?
And what about avenue?
Avenue? Avenue is the same as street.
Okay, thank
So
you.
the reason that one side says avenue, for example, 5th Avenue, 4th Avenue, and 3rd Avenue, is that sometimes they'll also have 5th Street, 4th Street, and 3rd Street. Such as in New York City, they have streets that say 30th Street, 31st Street, and those are all parallel. They all go in the same direction. And then on the cross street, it'll say 33rd Avenue. So they are perpendicular to each other. And because in the United States, some cities were built very quickly and they expanded very quickly, they don't have very interesting names. For example, in California, there are many cities that have the streets A Street, B Street, C Street, D Street, and the cross streets are 1st Avenue, 2nd Avenue, 3rd Avenue, and 4th Avenue. And they're not named after anything. So it's easier to find your way around because if you're looking for K Street and 4th Avenue, you just go following the alphabet or following the numbers. But it also means that the streets are not very interesting. Their names are not very interesting. But good question, Sampoy. Okay, next, so we're going to go back to Jorge. You have opposite. So please go ahead and ask another student about opposite.
Use opposite or face to face?
Please use opposite. I just was giving face-to-face as an example of what it means.
Okay, thank you. For Adela, where is opposite of? I don't know where is the preposition.
Opposite of or opposite from.
Okay.
I think opposite of is better.
Okay. Okay. Where is opposite of water plant?
I okay. Opposite water plant is community center.
Okay, and since it's this specific community center, it will be opposite the water plant is the community center.
Okay.
So when you're trying to remember if you need the in English, just remember when it's a specific place that's been named. So we're talking about this community center, that specific community center on 5th Avenue and Elm Street. It's a specific community center in this town, and therefore we need the word the. Okay?
Water plant is opposite the community center.
Very good, but don't forget it's also the water plant, okay? Because we're talking about this specific water plant.
Okay.
Okay, Adela, I'll give you, well, why don't you do another opposite so we get another chance to practice that.
Another opposite, okay, is for Leonardo, for example.
Okay.
What is opposite the county hospital?
The police station is the opposite of the county hospital.
Good, good. Okay, you guys are getting the hang of opposite. So when they face each other, and you could walk from the front door of the county hospital into the front door of the police station, that means they are opposite. But in fact, you might walk from the police station into the county hospital. Okay, let's go with, okay, here's a more difficult one. So we're going to make this more challenging now that you have gotten the hang of it. So we're going to do towards, okay? Towards is a preposition that refers to going in a certain direction, okay? So if I was a person walking on the street and I said towards First Avenue, let's say I'm on 3rd Avenue, towards First Avenue is Bird Bridge. Okay, so in the direction of First Avenue, I can find Bird Bridge. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes? Okay, good. So if I said to someone, what is towards, okay, from this X, here, the green X, do you see on the map there's a green X by Lake Park?
Yes.
Okay, from Lake Park, the green X on Lake Park, towards 5th Avenue, what is it? Yeah, on the green X, when I go towards 5th Avenue, what can I find? What is towards 5th Avenue? Okay, and that question is for Omar. Omar, what is towards 5th Avenue on Oak Street? Omar, did you get my question?
Yes, but actually I wasn't paying attention.
Okay, let's go with someone else. How about Geraldine? What is, when I'm walking on Oak Street, what is towards 5th Avenue?
The state college is towards 5th Avenue.
Perfect. That was a perfect example. Oh, that's okay, Omar. I understand it's probably very late where you are, right? It's late?
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, okay. So great job, Geraldine. It's exactly correct. Towards 5th Avenue is the State College. Okay, why don't you use that one again and see if you can make it from the black X, okay? Do you see the black X?
Yes.
Okay.
To Leonardo, what is towards towards Bird Bridge? Seeing from the black X.
Good.
Leonardo?
Sorry.
From the black X, what is towards Bird Bridge?
The Moon River is towards. The Moon
Yes.
River is towards the Red Bridge.
That's correct. Very good. So the Moon River is towards the Bird Bridge. When you're walking along River Street towards Bird Bridge, you'll see the Moon River. Very nice. Does anyone know why it's called the Moon River? Moon River is a very famous song in English. It's very nice. I think I'll send a link to you guys so you can listen to it. It's an old-fashioned song. It's very beautiful, and it's from the movie Breakfast at Tiffany's. So I'll send a link so you can watch it in your own time, and you can even practice. But it has some very beautiful melody in it. Okay, good. So Leonardo, I'm going to get you a new preposition. You are going to do, let's see. Okay, so we have a few bridges in this, so maybe try to use the preposition over, okay? And involve one of those bridges and ask a question of anyone in the class.
Okay. Can I use over two over?
You could say, well, it depends. Why don't you give it a try, and I'll let you know if that is correct.
Okay. Let me see. Jorge. What? What is over the Cat Bridge?
Okay, good. What is over the Cat Bridge? Do you mean from the River Street side?
Bird Bridge.
Oh, Bird Bridge. Okay, good. So let's say, Jorge, you're walking on Grove Street and you come to Bird Bridge. What is over Bird Bridge?
If I understand, maybe City High School is over the Bird Bridge.
Very good. That's correct. City High School is over the Bird Bridge. And it basically says that it means the same thing as what is on the other side of. Okay, so on the other side of Bird Bridge is City High School. Okay, good. Okay, so now we're going to be a bit more creative, okay? We're going to ask what we think is in the buildings, okay? So be creative with your answer. So, Jorge, why don't you try using inside, okay? And then whoever has to answer can come up with something that could be inside one of those buildings. Do you understand?
Yes. Sorry,
Good.
I was muted.
Yes, okay.
Okay, for some boy. Where is inside of the state college?
Oh, good. So, Sampoy, you get to answer this question with whatever you think. What is inside the state college?
The bus station is inside the state college.
Okay, the bus station is next to the state college, but we are trying to be creative and imagine who or what is inside, meaning inside the building, indoors, of the state college. Okay, so what is
Oh, okay.
inside the state college? Okay, Adela types students.
Yes.
That's probably true. I bet there are students in the state college. So Jorge says it's empty for. Is it empty for summer, Jorge?
Nah,
No,
I'm
it's
just
empty
kidding.
because no one wants to go to class. But look at you. You're in class right now. Is it empty because everyone is on verbling?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, so some point, be creative and you can say whatever you think is inside the state college.
Professor is inside the state college.
Good. A professor is inside the state college. That's probably true as well. Okay, Sampoy, why don't you use inside and ask someone else about another building?
Okay. Geraldine, what is inside the fire station?
The fire station.
Yes.
Okay. And firefighters are inside the fire station.
Yes, let's hope so. They'll be in there instead of fighting a fire, and they'll be safer. Good. Okay. Geraldine, why don't you use inside one more time?
Okay. What is okay, to Alexandra. What is inside the city court?
Oh yeah, that's a good question. What is inside city court?
Some judges are inside the city court.
Okay, some judges are inside. Perhaps some lawyers are inside.
Attorneys.
Huh?
Attorneys?
Oh,
I think
attorneys.
Yeah, attorneys.
Attorneys are inside city court.
Yeah.
And even maybe some criminals, perhaps, are in city court and they're at their trial. Okay, good. Well, why don't you ask that again? That's an interesting question. Sasha, ask inside of another building, and we can be creative.
Some boy. What is inside the water plant?
Ooh. What is? I have no idea.
Oh wow, what is it?
What?
Water plant. I think water is inside the water plant.
That's a good guess. That's a really good guess. Water is inside the water plant. Okay, that's true. And there could be all kinds of things in there. Maybe some things we don't want to know about. Jorge says a purification plant. Yes, they're purifying the water, making it safe for us to use in our gardens or perhaps even safe enough to use to drink. I'm not sure. And Adela says
I
there's
have a question.
bacteria. Yes, Jorge.
How do you say when? How do you describe the position, the location? For example, I want to know. How can I say? I am in the city middle school, and my reference is Lake Park.
Okay. You mean what you can see out the window? Like, let's say you're in City Middle School and you have a view of Lake Park.
Yeah, I don't know. In Spanish, we have an expression with help me to tell the people I am
Okay.
opposite, but not in front. In I don't
Oh,
know
I
diagonal.
see.
I don't
Yes, there is a phrase for that. So when it's on the corner across from you,
know.
yes,
Okay.
you can say diagonal, or you can say another more common phrase that is more slang is kitty corner. Okay? Some people also say catty corner, but I don't use that. Catty corner is from another part of the United States. I would say, let's say I'm in, okay, let's say I am in the city middle school, or no, I'm in the community center, okay? I'm in the community center across from the water plant, kitty corner from River Park, okay? Is
Okay.
that what you're looking for?
Yes.
What is the phrase in Spanish? I'm curious. Do you want to type it in the chat?
Yeah, that Adela typed it diagonal.
Oh,
In Spanish, it's totally the same writing, but we
oh,
pronounce diagonal.
yes, it's the same. You can say I'm in the middle school diagonal from Lake Park, but more people would say kitty corner than they would say diagonal.
Is
Okay.
kitty corner to the preposition?
No, you'd be kitty corner from
Okay.
yeah, kitty corner from. Good question. I kind of wonder where that phrase came from because it's a very weird word in English. Kitty corner from. Could even be two words, kitty corner. I've never written it out loud because it's a slang word. I mean, I've never written it down because it's more of a slang, like colloquial. And so
Okay.
you use it only in your speech. For example, if I was describing to my brother how to find a restaurant, I'd say, walk down the street, and when you get to the fish house, the restaurant is kitty corner from the fish house. So there you go. That's probably a word that none of you have heard before. Is that true? Kitty corner? Has anyone heard that before?
No.
No?
No.
Great. Okay, I'm glad that you learned something new today. Let's move on to another preposition. I don't think we've done behind, have we? Behind. Okay? So let's see. Adela, I'm going to ask you, what is behind the water plant?
Behind the water plant is the Moon River or Grove Street.
Correct. Grove Street is behind the water plant. Okay, so go ahead and ask someone else. We already used behind, did we? Okay, Geraldine
Yes.
says we already used it, but I didn't remember using that. Thought we used, oh yeah, we did. I see up here. Okay, let me find a different one. How about around? We didn't use that one, did we? Around? Okay, so Sasha, you may be interested in around because it's similar to near, okay? You can pretty much use one or the other. You can say the Moon River is near the middle school, or you can say the Moon River is around the middle school, okay? Adela, why don't you try to use around in a question, please?
Okay. For Geraldine,
Yes.
what is around the Moon River? No. What is around the Cat Bridge?
The Cat Bridge. Okay. City Park is around Cat Bridge.
Good.
So around means several buildings near. Is it the same as near?
Around is much more similar to close by, okay? It's very similar to near, but around means that they share some side, okay? So it's immediately close by. So it wouldn't be, for example, you couldn't say Smith Lake is around the city court because there are several buildings between them. So you'd want to say Lake Smith is around Lake Boulevard, or Smith Lake is around Lake Park, or Smith Lake is around the county hospital. But even that might be too far to consider it. Around is very, very near.
It's not necessary to build it, no? This place.
Yes, that is true. So it's not necessary to use it as a specific place. For example, you would use it to describe going to a lot of different places, such as when I was 22, I traveled around Europe, which means I traveled to many different countries all throughout. So I traveled around to many different countries. Okay? Let's try to get in one more. So let's see. We've done inside, but how about we do outside? So here you can be creative again. Outside, and you can make up things that you think are perhaps outside of the buildings, like what you might find on the average street. Okay, so let's start with Jorge. What do you think is outside the city high school?
City high school. Okay. You can find outside the city high school huge trees and a monument around the city high school.
Good. Okay, so there's a monument there. What's the monument of?
I don't know. It's about a hero.
Of a hero from the city, from the town. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so Sasha asked if we could use one more example of towards. Okay, so towards is a preposition that implies movement. Okay, so
yeah,
you have.
I understood the how to apply. I mean, how to ask the question. Do we need from or something? I forgot.
Do we need? Can you repeat that? Do we need?
Like, what is towards from something? Or how to make up a question?
You would just name the thing that you're moving towards. For example, if I was on the green X, and I wanted to know what was, well, that's not a good example. I'm on the
4th Avenue.
Yeah, so I'm on 4th Avenue, and I'm headed towards Moon River. So I would say, what is towards Moon River? Okay, there's no other preposition there. And then the person who would answer say, towards Moon River, you can find City Park. Or the City Park is towards Moon River.
Can I change, like, towards Moon River is City Park?
Yes, you can. So that's one thing about English. You can move the sentence structure around quite a bit as long as you have the same elements. So towards Moon River is City Park. Okay? And then if I was on Main Street, towards Smith Lake is the county hospital. Okay? So you don't need another preposition when you're using towards. Okay, good question. Okay, so Jorge, you get the last turn. Ask another outside question, please.
Okay. For Geraldine, where is outside of the city library?
Okay. I think outside of the city library, maybe is a cafe. Some chairs, people drinking coffee and reading books. I don't know.
Yes,
Maybe.
yes. I think there are people outside the library reading books all around. Perhaps they've even wandered into the cemetery. But I don't know about you. I would not want to wander around a cemetery.
No.
Sasha says, what is outside of the library? You don't have to say of. You can just say what is outside the library. It sounds better to say, I mean, it's not incorrect to say what is outside of the library, but if you were just trying to say, hey, what's outside the library, there's no need for the word of. But they are technically both correct. So don't worry too much about that. And the thing about prepositions, you have to practice them so much because eventually you'll start to get a sense of when they are correct. And it just comes from practice. Okay, so any more questions for today?
Yes, Maureen, I have a quickly question.
Sure.
If I am in a taxi, the taxi is from the east to the west, and he stopped in the city park, but I need to be in the river park. How can I say? Can you let me across the river, the Moon River, or in front? I don't know how can I say.
Can you drop me off? Okay? Can you drop me off? So in a car with a driver, you ask them, can you drop me off across the river at River Park?
Okay.
Okay, so you had it right, across the river. That's good. Okay, any other questions before we go? It's good practice today. Just keep going with those prepositions and keep studying.
It's
Okay?
possible.
Okay.
Adela?
No, it's possible through the cat bridge.
Yes, to cross across Cat Bridge. So can you drop me off across Moon River on the Cat Bridge or across the Cat Bridge at River Park? Okay?
Or through,
all right,
through
everyone. I have to go. I have another lesson, but thank you for joining me today, and I hope to see you all soon.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Bye.
Bye.